All right, hey everybody, we're live here at Loloan Lobby Bar in Waterloo with my friend Fred. Fred, say hi to everybody.
Hi everybody.
All right, let me just turn the volume up a little bit. Still seems, oh, that's a little bit too loud. That should be good. All right, good. So here we are. We're at this really interesting cocktail bar in Waterloo. Fred, you took me, or you've been here before.
I've been here one time, yes.
So anyway, he brought me here. I'm here visiting with my wife, and we're just hanging out for the weekend, having a great time so far. Now, Fred, can I get you to open up can you open up YouTube for a minute?
Sure.
Then we can see if people are, I think we already missed a couple of comments. But we're having a few things here. And from the title, I think you already know. But we're trying some Koval Oat Whiskey. Whiskey made from oats. It really actually comes off as kind of like a mix between rye and malt, which is very, very spicy, very enticing. We're also trying some Boulard Grand Solage, Calvados. That's their basic bottle. And we have Matt Cole. Matt Cole, thanks for joining. Great to see you. And Loch Ness. Hello, Loch Ness. Always a pleasure to have you along. I'm here with my buddy Fred, and we're having a few drinks. So, Fred, let's talk about the first thing we tried, which is this interesting cocktail. Cheers.
Cheers.
So this is, it's called what is it called?
Widow's Kiss.
Widow's Kiss. And let me find that page there. Widow's Kiss. Where did it go?
I think it's on the back of this one.
All right. So this is a mix of Calvados, Chartreuse, Benedictine, and bitters. And interestingly, those are all, I believe, they're all France products of France. Calvados from the Calvados region of France. Chartreuse is also a French liqueur. Benedictine as well, and then bitters. Probably that's your standard Angostura bitters, I'd imagine. But
If you look over there.
what does he got? Yeah, he's got the orange and the basics. Hard to pan towards our mixologist, but he's done a great job with these. Should we try that again?
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And your first comment when we tried this was extreme
It was sweetness and bitterness.
extreme sweetness and bitterness.
It's a perfect marriage of
Perfect balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think people think of the word bitter and they think, medicine, Tylenol, bad taste, but actually in cocktails especially, you need some bitterness to balance the sweetness and the sourness in this case, which is quite nice. I don't know if I can you taste the Calvados in the cocktail?
So
We
have a glass of that right
Yeah,
here.
we could. So that's the Calvados. Have you tried Calvados? If you haven't, I recommend it. I know some people aren't that thrilled with Boulard, but I'm pretty pleased with Boulard. I haven't tried the other major makers of Calvados, so I will eventually. But this is like $40, I think, at the LCBO here.
Yeah.
Winnipeg about the same price, not bad. And we have Gregoire. Bonjour, Gregoire. Nice to see you. We have Greg's Whiskey Guide, and we're enjoying a lot of French products from your home country. We have this interesting cocktail made with Calvados and Chartreuse and Benedictine, and a little bit of Calvados in the glass. How did you like that, by the way?
the Calvados on its own. Mm-hmm. It's typical of a brandy.
It's a brandy. Yeah, it's an apple brandy. How's our mic doing, by the way? Is the sound? Are we loud enough for sound?
It's very good. I don't get a lot of apple on it though.
On this, the lower end one, it's interesting. The basic entry level one, you don't get a lot of apple. You do get more apple as you move up in the range, in fact. And we have Thomas from Denmark. We have Garafiera do Denise, who joins a lot. I'm really happy. Greg says the sound is perfect and the location looks great. Yeah, beautiful location. It's nice to be out and about for once in a nice, beautiful bar with an attractive mixologist and staff here helping us, and an ideal location. We still have some natural light coming in because it's just mid-afternoon, so we're doing great. And anyway, so everybody who's joined in, thank you so much. Great to have you guys along. So the Calvados, if I stick my nose in deep, I do get a bit of apple. And this one actually, I believe, they can use a little bit of pear as well. So it's apple and pear.
I would not be surprised to learn that there's pear in there.
Very sweet, very fresh. Let me show you the card of the bar where we are. Let's see if I can get that set up nicely. There it is. Loloan Lobby Bar.
With Southeast Asian influence.
Right, yeah, they have a lot of interesting Southeast Asian dishes and cocktails. The cocktails are all very Southeast Asian sort of originating. I can't even read some of these. Ingat, Loloan, Bali, Pho Thai Trang. I can't pronounce these, but it'd be really fun to come and try all of these. One I was really interested in trying was this Mona Lisa. And here's the ingredients from the Mona Lisa. Good Scotch, slow gin, roselle, and mead, which sounds pretty nice. Anyway, Loloan Lobby Bar. Okay, should we check out this Koval? Where's your Koval? Oh, there it is.
Did we lose the bottle?
Okay. Can we, maybe we can ask him to bring the bottle if he gets, oh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And he opened it too. No. So nice. So that's the Koval that we're trying now. Single barrel oat whiskey distilled from 100% oat. So it must be some portion of malted oat in order to get the saccharification going on so that they can actually turn it into a nice oat beer and then thus make some oat whiskey. Wonder why he took the cork off.
He's tempting you.
He's tempting us.
Thank you very much.
How do you find it smells? Your first thoughts?
First thought.
Yeah.
Honest.
Yeah,
Thought
honest,
is it's
honest.
like a paste.
Like a paste.
A paste.
Okay.
It takes me back to being young and making things.
So like a paste, like glue?
Yes.
Okay. So the scent of school glue. You mean
Exactly.
school glue?
Exactly.
With Elmer's school glue with the cow on it. Is that the one?
You're getting very
Okay.
close to it.
I get some pretty intense spice. And then there's this sort of a dusty rock, like shale, very mineral-like note that I'm getting from this. I was supposed to have done a bunch of Koval reviews while I was in Korea, but it never worked out with the importers over there. So sadly, yeah, I don't think I've had a single Koval product on the channel yet, so I'm really happy. And we have Matt Cole. He's commenting here. Right. Thomas. Thomas. He's saying he's Danish, but he's located in Seattle. Well, I'm Danish and I'm located in Winnipeg. My dad's Danish. What's the word? Taylor de Dansk. Taylor de Dansk. And I only speak a little bit, just a little bit, Thomas. Good to meet you though. And Matt Cole, he's saying he's got some Evan Williams. Evan Williams, absolutely. Interesting story. So I first tried Evan Williams in Korea. This was the basic whiskey served at an old school bar in Korea called what's it called? The one that David likes.
Grand Ole Opry.
Grand Ole Opry in Seoul, in Itaewon, and they happen to be the importers. So he brought me a bottle, and I really liked. I liked the basic black label. Then they have the bottled and bond, which is nice. I really like that one. There's a review about a year ago, and I tried a 12-year-old Evan Williams bourbon, which was phenomenal. You can get that in Japan for about $30. Incredible. You like some bourbon?
I do. We had some good bourbon last night.
We did. What did we have?
Mark was very generous, and he shared with me a wild turkey. It was
50.5% Kentucky Spirit, single barrel picked from Manitoba, which was nice.
And I think the comment we both had is it went down incredibly
So
smooth.
And very bready, yeasty. Definitely has that sort of strong beer note to it.
And yet a sweetness to it.
Totally.
Yes.
And then we moved from there to 1792 single barrel.
Right.
Unfortunately, I loaned my bottle of 1792 full proof to a buddy of mine, so I wasn't able to bring any for Fred, but that would have been great.
I still enjoyed the 1792 we had.
Anyway, so dusty, sweet, spicy, similar to a rye in some ways.
Yeah,
So
it
if
feels
you're-
like it's going to be heavy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you're a Lot 40 lover, you might like this. If you're a bourbon lover, you might like this. All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Can you believe that's 40%?
Yes.
For me, it's really overpowering in its palate. There's a lot going on there.
There's a lot of spice on the first impressions. There's a lot of spice.
Big spice. Oh, and we have a new favorite person of mine, Whiskey Femme. Hello, welcome. Awesome to have you. She's actually from Brandon, and she lives in I think in Montreal. Is it Montreal? And she just actually launched a book on Amazon. Can you, Whiskey Femme? Can you put a link to your new book that's on Amazon right now? That'd be really cool. If you could throw up a link so that people can check that out. She made basically like a tasting log. It's kind of geared for women, but anybody can use it. It's got a sort of a 50s style ball pen kind of a drawing of a woman on it, and she did a really good job with that. But if you wanted to throw that link up here, that'd be really awesome, because I think that would be a great gift for young people, be them men or women, that are getting into whiskey that want to log their tasting notes. Especially if you don't do what I do, because all my tasting notes are obviously recorded on video, but
I would actually benefit from that.
Yeah.
Because I regret not making a lot of or documenting a lot of the different alcohols I've tried, not just whiskeys in particular specifically, but
absolutely, you can use it for anything, whether it's a cocktail you tried, whether it's a nice bourbon or brandy or a gin, etc., etc. That's a great way to keep track of what you have, and even wine, to be honest.
Yes, yeah. No, I do regret not documenting a lot of the things I've tried maybe the last 10 years and having notes that I can go back to. And when I'm shopping, just remembering things that I really liked that I had the opportunity to try before.
But anyway, two people here you should check out, both on YouTube. That's Greg's Whiskey Guide. Also, his blog is quite massive. So, Gregoire, if you want to throw up your link to your blog, that would be awesome. And I think it's Robin from Whiskey Fam, if you want to throw up your Instagram account or the link to your Amazon book, that would be great. Anyway, good stuff. And Greg's talking about Koval and that they experiment with different grains, such as oat. And he says he loves oat cakes, by the way. Very Scottish. Yeah, I'm surprised that more Scotch whiskey producers don't experiment with oats because they have so many oats in Scotland.
Well, this is actually the first time I've heard of oat-derived whiskey. So, cheers to the people at Koval that are ahead of the curve, maybe.
Well done. Greg's commenting that the quality of the image is nice. So they have really good Wi-Fi here, which helps a lot.
But it's also a very beautiful bar. I would say the nicest drinking bar in Waterloo. So
it's beautiful, beautiful bar.
I knew I had to take my whiskey-loving friend and alcohol aficionado.
But I love the creamy texture of this. And it's 40%, but it's got flavor as though it's 46 or even 50%. Creamy, sweet, some tartness, a little bit of bitterness. Can you pick out a particular flavor in your mind that this relates to?
To be honest, I can't. And I think that was one of the... It's complex, but is anything striking your nose, your palate?
Lemon drops. Lemon drops and sour soothers. Have you had sour soothers? It's like a gummy candy, and they look like an Egyptian ankh. And they're covered in that sour, sugary coating. Anyway, the image is freezed. Why is the image frozen? Hang on. Plug my battery. Okay, we should be back. That was a notice telling me that my battery is down to 20%, and I guess it freezes up your camera. Now, one cool thing, do you have any of your Calvados left? Just jump back to that.
I have a little bit left.
Yeah.
It seems very light in comparison.
The Calvados is so lightly fragranced and very easy to drink. If you're someone who wants to check into some brandy, I think entry-level Calvados is in some ways a better choice than entry-level cognac, because I feel like you get a little bit more quality with some of the entry-level Calvados than you do with cognac.
Very nice.
I feel like for cognac, it has to be at least VSOP to really enjoy it. and a few people are watching as we record, wondering what the hell we're doing.
I'm going to finish this off because I rather enjoyed it.
I think I should too.
So there's some comments about availability of food here, and they do have a very good kitchen here. Mark and I just happen to have polished a very big burger
big
and
burgers.
A set of fries to go with it. So we're not actually eating anything, but if you're interested in a very great selection of foods, Loloan definitely has the menu that will make you happy.
Yeah, I would love to try the food here. Probably not this trip, but I'm guessing that my wife and I will be back sometime in the next, let's say, 12 months to come and visit again. And maybe Fred will come to Winnipeg.
Absolutely.
There we go. We should talk about how we met. So, Fred and I have been friends now since November 2005.
Correct. It was actually right around this time
It was right around this time, yeah.
that
totally.
I was departing on a life-changing decision to go to Asia, and I met Mark about a month of being in Asia.
Yep.
And we quickly became best of friends, and
It's like you meet someone and everything is alignment, and it's just like your old friends right from the beginning, and that was us. And you hadn't met your wife yet. I hadn't met my wife yet.
that's right. We both met each other before we met our wives.
And Christmas was coming, and Fred spent Christmas at my place.
And I
I
have
had
a
a
good
new
story
roommate.
there. I have a good story there.
Please share.
This is one of those things that tells a lot about Mark, and probably made him instantly my respect for him
Did it go up or down?
up.
Okay.
Majorly was this guy sitting around double pot cooking eggnog, and in my lifetime I've never seen anyone with that precision or just being delicate in the kitchen to make sure that and not only that, he had the best cinnamon that he could find in the country. That was very important to him, to have the ingredients, and it impressed me. It really did impress me, Mark. And I knew this guy knows what a good drink is.
We made
and has
classic
appreciation.
eggnog, and I didn't have a double boiler, so I just did it by hand with a big pot and a small little saucepan to make sure that the milk and the egg yolks didn't get cooked while I was trying to heat them up to a nice temperature. And then we added in some vanilla, of course, and the cinnamon, Korean cinnamon, which is comes in big long logs, and you grind it. So it was, that was a nice night.
And we also had some local whiskey. I think it was probably a blended whiskey, what we would have grabbed off the shelf. But
Right.
we definitely had spiked it with maybe a bit of rum and I think it was whiskey. Actually,
I think it was whiskey.
Yeah.
It was probably Valentine's, or it was something special. The brand called Something Special that has a lot of Longmorn in it. Anyway, thanks for sharing that story.
Hey, just,
And Ruben Hake says, "Cute couple." Hey, now, come on, we're good friends.
we are good
but,
friends, and that's a
Yeah.
that's a. I do think it speaks to you, Mark, that when I first met you, you were one of those guys that happened to know what a quality life experience
Exactly.
was, and that opened my eyes a little bit.
that was a nice evening, and then I think a year later, you had met your future wife, and even though you guys were coupled up, you still came to my place for Christmas.
We did.
And I had a guest room at the time, so I prepared the bed for them to stay the night, and we had a pretty grand old time at that old place
We absolutely did.
up in the northern part of Seoul called Loloan. Anyway, let's see. Looking through some comments, we have Gregoire. Love that you're so active in chat here. And yeah, the bartender was cooking something in the background. You're right, and it's really interesting. I'm noticing that there is a particular legal definition for what a certain establishment is allowed to cook or not cook, depending on the size and how the premise is created, whether it has sufficient exhaust, etc. So there's a lot of sort of pubs like this that basically have I want to call it a hot plate and a convection oven, and they can just basically make some very basic food. But I see some ladies next to us enjoying some dumplings and some.
The full kitchen will be back there.
Oh, the full kitchen. Okay, yeah. I'll pan over there before we close up here. Talking about cooking. This is from Gregoire, from Greg's Whiskey Guide. He says, talking about cooking, have you ever cooked haggis for yourself, Mark? I do love haggis, in fact. I have never actually cooked haggis before. I think I would try if I was able to get the the stomach lining, the sheep's stomach lining and everything in order to make it at home. I think I would try it for sure.
Greg, do you have any Scottish ancestry? Because if so, there's a town very close to here called Fergus, Ontario.
Oh.
And I've had a few meals in restaurants there, and you can find haggis on the menu for sure. It's a staple. But even here in Ontario, we have a very dedicated Scottish community, making sure that the food history stays up to date and relevant for the people here.
Greg says he doesn't, but so Greg has, I don't know, Greg, can you share how many daily readers do you have on your blog? He has a pretty large reaching blog, and he writes, I believe he writes in both English and French. So that sort of doubles up a little bit of his readership. For a while, I was recording videos in, we have Pal Joey. Pal Joey! Cheers, buddy. Nice to see you.
So Greg says he has 1,000 per month, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Greg, I saw you said you have family in Ottawa and Montreal, so if you're ever in Ontario, go out to the town of Fergus, Ontario, and it's a very beautiful town, and some of the best people you'll meet, but also a good food scene there. So come on out to Fergus, Ontario.
All right. So anyway, we got Pal Joey, and he writes, "Hey Mark, it's your pal Joey, 1957." Peugeot class at the elbow. Yep, good stuff. He's got some Woodford Reserve and Corsair. I have yet to try Corsair. I'm dying to try Corsair. I can't wait. Corsair has the coolest, I mean, aesthetics aside, but Corsair has the coolest label in American, we'll call that craft distilling. It's basically, I believe it's the 4 founders. And it's just a silhouette of them walking, and it's just this really unique kind of a logo that is so distinctive. I just love it. But I hear such great things about the whiskey. But he writes, Corsair has issued an oat bourbon as well. Interesting. And he says he hasn't tasted it so far. But anyway, yeah, greetings. Really happy to see you. We have also Donner Pass Whiskey joining in.
Cheers.
Always a pleasure. Cheers. Cheers, Fred. I guess we're nearing the end of this Koval. Beautiful legs on this, by the way. I think I'm basically the only YouTube whiskey reviewer that talks about the legs of whiskey. But let's check out these legs. They are wide and they're thick and they're beautiful, and it really coats the glass very well. And even though this is 40%, I know you said it was a little bit thin, but it's pretty full flavored.
There's a lot of flavor.
Do you feel it's lacking?
No, I think my comment was more that you don't get the high alcohol
no.
sensation.
Right. No, you don't get an alcohol burn, but it has
your
flavor
camera.
to spare.
You're
My
at probably
camera-
10% there.
Oh no. Okay, we're down to 10%.
We're gonna have to finish this off.
We'll have to finish it off. But full flavored whiskey, even though it's 40%. Cheers, Fred.
Cheers. Maybe we'll be moving locations soon, but to another a good whiskey bar in Waterloo here. So I don't know if we'll have a second stream going.
Well, if I can get this phone charged. This phone is so old, the battery lasts at best an hour. So anyway, let me just pan the bar here a little bit. It's a beautiful bar. There's our mixologist. He's really awesome. Made those beautiful widow's kiss. Well done. And here is the dining room. And it's so nice having a coat check. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed that. I sure did. And I'll say goodbye to you with my friend Fred from Waterloo. Cheers, everybody.
Yep.
That was a pleasure. We'll see you again maybe later tonight if I can get this thing charged. But cheers, everybody. Thanks so much. Big thanks to Greg for all the comments.
Yeah.
And everybody who jumped in there. Lots of great people that came to have a chat and watch a little bit. So thanks very much. We'll see you very soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, which is right over in this corner over here, I believe. And hit the bell so you're notified of future Whiskey Whistles. Check out Winnipeg Whiskey Club if you're in Winnipeg. And also try to look at the Patreon account, patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle. You get your name in the credits. And you'll get advanced viewing of cool videos too, okay? Take care, everybody.
Cheers,
Bye
everybody.
now.